Hey, hello. J Nell here with a lot of fight news and a lot of things to talk about. So let's go ahead and get right into this. I'm a little late and kind of on time, so I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff here. I did make 5 picks over the weekend. Like I said, you have to follow me everywhere. So since we're talking about that, please like and subscribe the video. Please share the video and all of that. And please follow me everywhere so you can get all of my content, like my last minute picks. When I don't have a chance to sit down and do a long form video like this, I will do the last minute picks on the other platforms. So I made 5 picks over 2 of the events, and the picks weren't worth a damn, y'all. I only got 1 out of the 5 picks. I changed the very last pick I changed because I was doing so horribly. I was like, hell, let me go ahead and change it. That's the pick I would have got. So I would have got 2 out of 5. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So first up on Bellator 259, which happened this past Friday, we saw the women's featherweight champion Cyborg defend her belt against Leslie Smith for the second time. She's fought her before. She ended last time, I think, in the first or second round. Someone let me know the details on that. I can't quite remember. But in this one, it took a lot longer because you could see that Leslie Smith has gotten better, but really Cyborg is working on improving herself, which is always nice to see. Someone who's been a champion in every organization that they've been in. They're just going over her accolades. I was like, oh, she's got quite the career when you think about it. She was clearly working on her boxing and clearly working on her grappling and her submissions. So there was plenty of times where she could have ended this fight earlier, honestly, but she wanted to go ahead and put those into practice. And I really enjoy seeing champions and people who, especially she's in her like mid-30s now, how she's still improving, still working hard. Love to see it. Who would you like to see Cyborg fight next? Now, on to UFC Fight Night 27 in Las Vegas. I made 4 picks on this event, and I didn't get any of them. So let's go ahead and just talk about the event. First up, we saw on the picks that I made. I did not, again, I came late, so I didn't see the first 2 fights yet. But I did see Norma Dumont get the split decision against Felicia Spencer. I don't even think it should have been split. She outpointed her. She was first to initiate the exchanges. She landed the more significant shots. She landed more often. She got going a little slow, so that first round was definitely could have gone either way. In fact, the first round I think probably would have gone to Spencer. It took a little bit to get going, so she needs to get going quicker. She's getting used to this 145 division. I think she should stay here. Not only can she work her way through this division quicker to get to the champ, it's the champ in the same in both divisions because she wants to be 135. She's expressed that. So it's the same champ. So you could actually get to her quicker at 145. If it doesn't work, maybe you drop back down. Who knows? But I actually think she should stay here. Let me know what you think Norma Dumont should do. Should she stay? Should she go? After the fight, she did seem like she might stay a little bit, and I want her to stay. We need more talent in this division. She's a talented girl, someone with eyes on her. She's young. So I want her to stay in the featherweight division so we can start to finally build that division up. So let me know who you think Norma Dumont should fight next. Featherweight, bantamweight, stay or not, let me know. Next up, we saw Alexander, pretty sure that's right, Jared Vanderaa beat Justin Tafa, unanimous decision. I completely agree. He came out, he just came out swinging. He was first, he was early, he was a well-rounded attack on the feet. He had nice kicks. It seemed like Justin really couldn't get started because Jared was just first. He was first on everything. He took the center of the octagon. He was pressing the pace the entire time. Justin was off backpedaling the entire time. He got a little bit too loose in that 3rd round and made some mistakes that a more experienced fighter would have been able to capitalize on, but won the fight. Good win for him. He's nice and young in that heavyweight division. I think there's some serious talent there. I do. Who would you like to see him fight next? Slowly go up there, because the heavyweight division is more talent rich than it's probably ever been since I've been watching UFC. Next up, we're seeing the co-main event here, and we see the Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza. What? Jan Janon's behind. Let me know if that's her first loss in the UFC, if it's her second. I think it's actually might be her first. And she's been running through girls, and Cookie Monster ran through her. First round, she went for, I think she kind of charged that Carla. I don't know what exactly she was trying to do. She ran right into a takedown and got held down for the rest of the round and got grounded and pounded out. Second round, took her down very easily, got the crucifix and finished her there on the ground. Bloodied her up. Damn near a flawless victory. The first round, you probably gave her by 2. Great win, taking out, I believe, number 2 or number 3 in the division, and she has a win over the current champ. Now, the current champ, Rose Namajunas, might have a rematch against the former champ, but if that doesn't go through, I actually agree that she should get the next title shot. Now, even she said that her and Rose are completely different fighters since back then, and she's completely correct about that. Rose is a whole lot better now. She's a lot mentally stronger now. But Carla, this last little run, she's a lot better too. And I'd be down to see the rematch. You let me know if there should be someone in between. Let me know what you think. Who should be next for Carla Esparza? Now, main event, and I should have kept the pick. Yeah, I lost the first 3 UFC picks in a row, and I was like, to hell with it. Let me go ahead and change it. And Rob Font whooped Cody Garbrandt's ass. All 5 rounds. Cody's tough, and you couldn't finish him. He did get some takedowns. In fact, maybe you might give him that round where he got the takedown. You could tell that he was really concerned with positioning and trying to pass instead of maybe mounting some ground and pound and scoring some points and taking some steam out of Rob. Rob was so much longer than him, and that jab. He fought behind the jab all 5 rounds, and it really worked. Everything opened up right behind that jab. And just real quick about that, because even he said I got the best boxing jab. And you know me, I'm always talking about the traditional boxing and how it helps MMA. And I think the disrespect actually kind of goes back and forth. We see it a lot, of course, from the boxing to the MMA because they're more established, makes more money, blah, blah, blah. But you also see it from MMA going to boxing. Some of them act like boxing is not a part of MMA, for one. And then some of them act like there's really nothing that they could use from boxing in their MMA. And so that's why I'm always like, especially if you are a striker, get that traditional boxing jab, get you some traditional boxing footwork, get you some traditional boxing head movement and some defense and some angles and some shoulder rolls. Those are things you don't actually get in MMA striking, and you mesh the two. And it was just really nice to see someone respect that, add that into his game, and pull off an amazing performance like Rob Font did. He whooped his behind. So who would you like to see Rob Font fight next? He's in a stacked division. He said he'd like the winner of TJ and Sandhagen. If not, go straight to the belt. And yeah, I think that's where he's at. I think that's where he's at. He might even be able to get the loser out of the TJ Sandhagen. I'm okay with that. What do y'all think about that? Let him get the loser out of the TJ Sandhagen, because I think you're going to have Petior, take on Sterling again. Maybe he gets the loser out of that fight or something like that. But I do think he's 1 fight away from a title shot in a crazy stacked division. So let me know who you think Rob Font should fight next. Whew, that's that. Next up, I just wanted to touch on this GSP, Oscar De La Hoya, Dana White situation real quick. As you've known, GSP's been, he wants to fight Oscar De La Hoya. He's not giving up on it. He wants to do it under the Triller rules. And, he's in great shape. GSP is. He's always been in great shape. Always been very clean with his eating and his living. He's a kickboxer. He's a kickboxing champion first. People forget about that because of how good of a wrestler he became. But he actually has a kickboxing base. So it would be interesting, especially Oscar De La Hoya, of course, has achieved way more in boxing. He's older, and physically he has put his body through a lot more with the past substance abuse and all of that he's admitted to. Dana White says no, he won't let this happen because GSP is still under contract. And I looked into it a little bit more. So, he let Ben Askren fight Jake Paul under contract as well, and he didn't get paid for that. This is say the UFC didn't get paid for that. That was like they just loaned him for free. And knowing that just happened, and it was very successful for Triller, right? Just offer him some money for GSP. Instead of being in the media talking about how he doesn't pay his fighter, and you're trying to like kind of goat him into some kind of battle when he already don't like you. Oscar De La Hoya, for sure, he doesn't like you, for sure. He doesn't have the best relationship with GSP either. In fact, he didn't even want to give GSP that middleweight title fight because he had a feeling that GSP would leave right after, which he did. So GSP don't have the best relationship either. So you're probably gonna have to pay the man. It's one thing to me to loan out like my 30th ranked fighter or whatever you would place Ben Askren as, because he got combat famous outside of UFC. It's one thing for me to loan you that guy for free. It's another thing for me to loan you my UFC living legend, arguably best in the conversation pound for pound in the world, GSP, for free. I actually understand that. So offer him some money, because GSP has expressed he's no longer doing MMA. and he wants to fight Oscar De La Hoya. That's his second favorite fighter. It's been a dream to fight him. He wants to do it under the Triller rules. He thinks that suits him. So this is what he wants to do. He hasn't given up on it, and he does not want to do any more MMA fights. So if he's not going to make any more money for you under contract, maybe you can make some money, you know, loaning him out to Triller, but Triller, you got to pay him. That's what I think about that. What do you think about that situation and all of that noise? And then the last thing I wanted to touch on was Diego Sanchez finally divorcing Joshua Fabia, and Joshua Fabia deciding to go on a rant. Now, I heard Diego saying, you know, they're going their separate ways, but it didn't seem like Diego trashed him too much. Someone let me know if give me a link or something, point me to something where Diego was trashing Joshua. Joshua has come out and has responded, and he has, I mean, all these allegations saying that Diego the UFC asked him to throw the fight against Michael Chiesa, drug abuse, that he's special needs, that he neglects his children, that he's broke, all of these things. He said that he manipulated him, he used him. And this is my thing, Joshua. You're saying you got manipulated by a substance abusing, special needs having, easily manipulated by the UFC to throw fights. Broke dude. He manipulated you? That's not a good look for you, if that's the case. And just, I hate that this is getting this ugly. He says he has video proof. Every time I do something like that, I get like lipstick on my teeth. It always makes me work. Anyway, he says he has video proof, and I just wanted to say to Fabia, if you're trying to save your brand at all, you don't release the tapes. And I would stop this line of talking, these type of interviews, and just go back to promoting your school of self-awareness. Because if look, Diego, at some point, this guy served some sort of purpose. We don't know the extent of the manipulation or how, we don't quite know. We do know that Diego probably has had some issues. So I actually am not going to sit here and say that everything Joshua is alleging is completely false. I actually don't think that at all. So we don't know all the details of this clearly messed up relationship. I think that's all we know, is that he got worse in our eyes physically and as an athlete when he got with Fabia. Okay? And then we see these training videos with knives and upside down, which is unhealthy. Okay. So even if what you're saying is true, Fabia, you've already made a name for yourself off of Diego Sanchez, if that's what you were trying to do. If you were trying to help him, that relationship has ended, right? The best thing for you to do would just be to move on and try to get more students and try to maybe get your next big name who's on their way out, or whatever you can do. Use that. But if you're going to market yourself as a coach and a self-awareness guru, the worst thing you could do is throw one of your ex-fighters under the bus. No one's going to want to train with you. The coach-athlete relationship is like sacred. So what you are doing, despite what Diego may have done, is just simply a bad idea for you. So I hope this doesn't go any further. And I think that's going to be it for this video. This video doesn't need to go any further. So yeah, let me know again how you did on all of your picks, on everything that happened this past weekend with all these lovely fights. I know there was a boxing fight as well, but I'm getting better, keeping up with the Bellator championships at least now. So getting more and more content out there. And yeah, give me any injury updates. Please talk to me about this Triller. Oh, real quick. So this Triller thing, is this the, I saw this other little fake brawl between, I want to say like Aaron Hall and like something Brooks or Broomer. It's like YouTubers versus Twitchers or something. Look at me sounding all like a elder millennial. They did a little fake fight situation, but I know that one of the guys on one of the teams fought Jake Paul at one point, and it looks like they have some actual boxing coaches and things in their corner. So I just want to know, how real is this whole YouTube boxer thing? You know, we hear Tyson saying that the YouTube boxers are bringing it back. I thought he was just talking about the Paul brothers and one-offs. Is this a thing? The YouTube boxer, internet boxer, is this a real sub? I'm not talking about Triller, because Triller has boxing vets and MMA fighters. That's a little bit different. I'm talking about this whole, like, I guess, subdivision of boxing, which is these YouTubers, Twitchers, I guess it's like 6-on-6, not all at the same time, but they're all gonna be like a team fighting each other. They had Bruce Buffer there doing the announcements, so they can afford him. Yeah, so just let me know what's going on with this. Looked like the guy in the blue suit almost rolled his ankle. I apologize for probably not getting any of those names correct. And yeah, but it looks like there's like legit boxing staff and coaches involved, and the announcers, and there's media behind it, and this is not the first time it's happened. So yeah, just give me your thoughts on this whole, not even Triller, this is, like I said, YouTube boxing, internet boxing, subdivision, quarter division. All right. Talk about that. Talk about the GSP situation. Do you think they should just pay Dana White? I definitely think he has a price. Just pay him. And of course, let me know what you think about this Diego Sanchez, Joshua Fabia situation. Yeah. Again, as I already said, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please subscribe, like, talk to me. Take care, and goodbye.